In the name of the God of light and life. Amen. Please be seated. This time of year, I wonder how images of our faith must be so very different for Christians in the Southern Hemisphere. We're in the midst of the darkest time of the year, the time of the year when our pre-Christian Northern European ancestors would build fires at night in rituals meant to coax the sun to return. But in the global South, these aren't the days of diminished light. These are among the longest days of the year. They are living now in the midst of the great light. But we are in the midst of those days most like the ones described in these first verses of John's Gospel. Days when light is the stuff of memory more than it is a lived reality. The promise of Christ, however, is that light that overcomes darkness. Darkness never overcomes light. The fact is, it doesn't take much light to overcome darkness. The absence of light feels profound. It feels powerful and all-encompassing. But in fact, it is very weak. On the other hand, even a very little light is very strong. Just the tiniest light can erase darkness. And the light of Christ is not insignificant. It is life that is the light of all the people. There is, however, of course, darkness in the world. Not just in the sense of the absence of the sun, but there is pain and loss and disillusionment. There is mourning, grief. There are people sensing a lack of purpose in their lives. But the good news is that it doesn't take much light to overcome that. Now that we are in the time basking in the light of the incarnation, remember that it is our job to share the light. It's our calling, and in all truth, it is our delight and our honor to share this light. It's not just a task to accomplish, but sharing the light of Christ is the greatest gift we receive. Last night at the Christmas Eve service, we did what we do every year. We sang Silent Night by candlelight. As the church lights were dimmed, each person's candle was lit from some other light. And no light was diminished in the process. Sharing the light only caused it to grow. By the end, the church was bathed in candlelight. The same is true for the life of Christ that is our light and the light of all the people. Each time we share it, it grows. Giving it to people we meet in the world doesn't divide it, it multiplies it. In our house, like a lot of houses around the world today, when we leave here today, we will share gifts with one another. For me, it's one of my favorite times of year, not because of gifts that I'll receive, but because of the joy I get in giving gifts. Of course, it's fun to get things, but the real anticipation for me at this time of year happens in the planning to give, and then in the giving. As we share the light of Christ in the world around us, it is that same kind of joy. The joy that comes from giving a truly good gift. A joy that is somehow even more soul deep than the joy of receiving. Joy that can only grow from being given away. This is my quick Christmas wish for all of us. That our joy will grow and be given away. That this light that we have will grow because it's been shared. Most of all, that these days of life, light, and joy will remind us to live lives of life, light, and joy, even after this Christmas fades to memory. Though the day will surely fade, I pray that the gift lives on. Amen.